Last Tuesday, June 10th, an extraordinary milestone loomed large in the hearts of those who hold royalty close, a moment not marked by parades or banquets but by quiet remembrance and emotional reverence. It would have been the 58th wedding anniversary of Denmark's beloved Queen Margrethe II and her late husband, Prince Henrik. Though the day came and went without the usual grandeur associated with royal celebrations, the significance of this date was impossible to overlook, especially for those who remember the unshakable bond between two souls whose love redefined the Danish monarchy. Theirs was not a love born of arrangement or aristocratic strategy, but rather of genuine connection, curiosity, and a passion that transcended nationality, protocol, and even royal expectations. It was in the bustling charm of 1960s London, a city alive with music, revolution, and romantic serendipity, that the young Margrethe, then the Danish crown princess, met Henri de Laborde de Montpezat, a cultured and witty French diplomat with a background as unique as the woman he would come to love. At the time, she had not yet taken the throne, but her future was already destined for greatness. What she did not foresee, however, was that amid diplomatic dinners and international obligations, she would find her life's greatest companion. Henri, Count of Montpezat, was no stranger to worldly sophistication. Born into French nobility, educated across Europe and Asia, and fluent in several languages, he brought an energy and intellectual curiosity that mirrored Margrethe's own. It was this shared hunger for knowledge, culture, and art that drew them together, igniting a spark that quickly grew into a blazing affection that neither politics nor protocol could extinguish. Their courtship was discreet yet deeply personal. Behind palace walls and away from the public eye, letters were exchanged, late-night conversations unfolded, and a mutual understanding blossomed, not only of each other's backgrounds, but of each other's hearts. Henri, with his bohemian charm and poetic soul, balanced Margrethe's discipline and sense of royal duty. She, in turn, embraced his complexities, his passion for literature, wine, and his occasionally rebellious spirit. It was a love that defied expectations and yet felt inevitable. When their engagement was formally announced in 1966, the world was curious. A French commoner marrying the heir to the Danish throne. It stirred conversation across both royal circles and public forums. But what the skeptics failed to understand was that this was not merely a royal union, it was a love story rooted in mutual admiration, challenge, and emotional synergy. On June 10, 1967, the two were married in a ceremony that blended Danish tradition with French elegance, held in the Grand Hallman Church in Copenhagen. The streets overflowed with well-wishers and onlookers, while the nation rejoiced in the union of their crown princess with the man who had captured her heart. From that day forward, Henri became Prince Henrik of Denmark, and though his royal title would forever remain a source of contention, as he was never named king, his role as consort was never in question to those who truly observed their dynamic. He was her partner, her confidant, and in many ways, her equal. Over the course of their marriage, they raised two sons, Crown Prince Frederik and Prince Joachim, instilling in them not only royal values but also a deep appreciation for individuality, creativity, and responsibility. Prince Henrik's role was not without challenges. As a man who had relinquished his own national identity, career, and surname for a life in service to a foreign crown, he often found himself wrestling with the rigid traditions of the Danish monarchy. His outspoken nature sometimes made headlines, particularly his frustrations over not being made king, yet behind the public statements lay a deeper struggle, the identity crisis of a man caught between love and legacy. And yet, through it all, Queen Margrethe remained his anchor. She understood the inner turmoil he faced and offered not only empathy but admiration for his resilience and the sacrifices he had made. She did not see a titleless consort, she saw her husband, her intellectual equal, her partner in every sense of the word. Their marriage endured not just the passage of time, but the trials of public scrutiny, cultural differences, and evolving royal responsibilities. They traveled the world together, representing Denmark on the global stage with poise, authenticity, and warmth. Whether standing beside one another during state visits, laughing during interviews, or stealing quiet glances during royal galas, the depth of their connection was undeniable. Their love was not performative, it was lived, deeply and honestly. When Prince Henrik's health began to decline in the later years of their marriage, Queen Margrethe became his constant companion. She accompanied him to hospital appointments, adjusted her royal schedule, and ensured he had the care and comfort he needed. It was a painful time, not only for the royal family but for the Danish people who had come to appreciate the prince's uniqueness and spirit. In February 2018, Denmark mourned the loss of Prince Henrik, and Queen Margrethe mourned the loss of the man who had stood beside her for over half a century. His funeral was both a state occasion and a deeply personal farewell. Held at the Christiansborg Palace Church, it was attended by dignitaries from around the world, yet it was Queen Margrethe's quiet strength, veiled in mourning and framed by memories, that truly captured the gravity of the moment. She had lost not just a royal partner, but the man who had held her hand through the chapters of her reign, from young crown princess to seasoned monarch. Since his passing, Queen Margrethe has continued her royal duties with remarkable grace. She became the longest reigning monarch in Danish history before stepping down in 2024, and though she wore the crown with dignity, those close to her say a part of her heart remained forever tied to the man who had once walked beside her through the gardens of Fredensborg, through the corridors of Amalienborg, and through the complexities of royal life. This past June 10th, as the date quietly arrived once more, there were no public events, no grand statements, just a nation remembering, and a queen undoubtedly reflecting on a love that defied time. Perhaps she sat in one of the palace's private rooms, surrounded by memories, photos of their wedding, handwritten letters, pieces of music they once listened to together. Or perhaps she visited the gardens where they once walked in springtime, sharing thoughts no one else could understand. Love like theirs doesn't simply end with death. It lingers in gestures, in traditions, in the echoes of shared laughter and the quiet corners of royal halls. It survives in the stories passed on to grandchildren, in the legacy of how they led a nation side by side, and in the inspiration it offers to those who believe in enduring partnerships. Their marriage wasn't perfect, no great love ever is. But it was real, layered, and fiercely loyal. Queen Margrethe and Prince Henrik showed the world that even within the gilded walls of monarchy, true companionship is possible. That behind the protocol, beyond the titles, there can be tenderness, shared joy, disagreements overcome, and a profound sense of mutual respect. Today, their story serves as a timeless reminder of what love can be when it is nurtured not by obligation, but by choice. When two people, though from different worlds, choose every day to walk together, through duty, through disagreement, through loss, and never lose sight of the bond that first brought them together. So as we reflect on what would have been their 58th wedding anniversary, we do not only mourn what has passed, we celebrate what was. A royal marriage, yes. But more importantly, a great and enduring love story. And now we ask you, do you believe such a deep and lasting love is still possible in today's world, even under the spotlight of fame and duty? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring the bell for more royal stories that move the heart and challenge the mind.